I want to welcome everybody to the 2021 Rational Guidelines and Procedures workshop presented by Policy and Outreach Subcommittee. I want to welcome all the subcommittee members. This workshop is being recorded to be posted on the website, rvana.org, for training. If you have missed the live workshop, no members' pictures will be recorded. Please hold questions to the end. The 12 traditions. 1, our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends on NA unity. 2, for our group purpose, that's one order and authority. 11, God, as you may express himself, not group conscious. Our leaders are to serve it, they do not govern. 3, they don't require for membership if they desire to stop using. 4, each group should be autonomous except the matters affecting other groups or NA as a whole. 5, each group has one primary purpose: to carry the message to the adequate still separate. 6, an NA group will never endorse, finance, or lend the NA name to any related facility or outside enterprise, less problems of money, property, or prestige divert us from my primary purpose. 7, every NA group ought to be fully self-supporting and decline an outside contribution. 8, narcotic anonymous should remain forever non-professional, but our service center may employ special workers. 9, NA as such are never be organized, but we may create service boards or committees directly responsible for those they serve. 10, narcotic anonymous has no opinion on outside issues, hence the NA name will never be drawn to public controversy. 11, our public relation policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need to always maintain personal anonymity, the level of press, radios, and films. 12, anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever remind us to place principles before personalities. The 12 concept NA service. The 12 concept of service as guiding principles empower the groups to create an efficient, responsive service structure to serve their common needs. 1, to fulfill our fellowship primary purpose, the NA group has joined together to create a structure which develop, coordinate, and maintain service on behalf of NA as a whole. 2, the final responsibility and authority for NA service rests with the NA group. 3, the NA group delegate to the service structure the authority necessary to fulfill the responsibility assigned to it. 4, effective leadership is highly valued in Narcotic Anonymous. Leadership qualities should be carefully considered when selecting trusted servants. 5, for each responsibility assigned to the service structure, a single point of decision and accountability to be clearly defined. 6, group consciousness is the spiritual means by which we invite a loving God to influence our decisions. 7, all members of a service body bear substantial responsibility for that body's decision and should be allowed to fully participate in its decision-making processes. 8, our service structure depends on the integrity and effectiveness of our communication. 9, all elements of our service structure have the responsibility to carefully consider all viewpoints in their decision-making processes. 10, any member of a service body can petition that body for the redress of personal grievances without fear of reprisal. 11, NA funds are to be used to further our primary purpose and must be managed responsibly. 12, in keeping with the spiritual nature of Narcotic Anonymous, our structure should always be one of service, never of government. Our purpose and goal. Our purpose is to improve GSRs and elected area level trusted service, accountability, and communication between our area and the home groups, as well as on the area floor. Our goals are to show members how to navigate through the 2021 Rational Guidelines and Procedures using the table of contents, to identify the duties and responsibility of GSR's area trusted service and subcommittee chair as required in their reports, to review procedures used on the area floor, to review 7 most important motions from the Robert Rules of Order. Note, if you have any question, concern about why any guidelines or procedure exist, we invite you to the policy subcommittee to discuss on any second or fourth Thursday at 6 p.m. The 2021 Rational Guidelines and Procedures. 3 main sections of guidelines and procedures. Section 1, guidelines. Policy approved by the groups that guide our service to include the accountability duties and responsibility and the budget. Section 2, procedures. Area operating procedures that are used to conduct business on the area floor. Section 3, appendices. Additional information to facilitate area service.
What is important information is found on pages 4 and 5. A, purpose. B, parliamentary authority guideline. C, area policy guideline. D, guidelines for participation in area service committee guideline. E, area level trusted service guideline. RASNA trusted servants. We are going to discuss this information our area trusted servants should have in their reports. Chairperson, vice chairperson, secretary, alternate secretary, treasurer, vice treasurer, regional committee member, RCM, ultimate RCM, Virginia Regional Convention Corporation, VRCC, and the alternate VRCC. Special Event Subcommittee Treasurer, Group Service Representative, and alternate GSR. What should we expect to hear in our chairperson's report? Which pages will you find this position's duties? Page 5 and 6, Section B, duties of chairperson. What key information should be written in this position's report? 1, set area agenda and preside over meeting. 2, vote only in case of a tie on procedural motion. 5, communication if unable to attend area meeting. 8, participation at the policy subcommittee meeting. 9, read and submit a written report. 10, lead the search for a new area service committee. ASC meeting place if needed. 11, results of the biannual audit, January and July. 13, purchase of a monthly virtual account. 14, establish an electronic method to donate 7 tradition funds. What should we expect to hear in the Vice Treasurer's report? Which pages will you find this position's duties? Pages 6 and 7, Section B, duties of Vice Chairperson. What key information should be written in this position's report? 2, activity of subcommittee visit. 4, reasons for conducting business at area. 5, why absent from area. 8, read and submit written report. 9, serve as temporary chairperson in vacant subcommittee chair positions. 10, results of biannual audit, January and July. 12, call for a special meeting when acting as chair.
What should we expect to hear in the secretary, assistant secretary reports? Which pages will you find this position duties? Pages 8 and 9, section B, duties of secretary. What key information should be written in this position report? 3, read all minutes at ASC upon request. 4, add correct to old minutes for each meeting. 6, compiled all motion, area trusted service report and subcommittee chair reports for area minutes. 7, compile all group reports prepared by assistant secretary for area minutes. 8, prepare and mail and email minutes no later than 2 weeks after ASC. What should we expect to hear in the treasurer, vice treasurer report? Which pages will you find this position duties? Pages 10, 11, section B, duties of treasurer. What key information should be written in this position report? 1, maintain ASC checking accounts. 1C, amount of deposit for the previous month. 1D, amount of money received from special events. 1F, amount of donation to area and literature purchase for that month. 1H, reconcile ASC checking account. 1J, previous month clear checks, outstanding checks and deposits. 1K, regional donation. 2, keep an accurate record of ASC transaction. 3, provide annual report at January ASC. What should we expect to hear in the regional committee member RCM alternate RCM report? Which pages will we find this position duties? Pages 12, section 7B, duties of regional committee members, RCM. What key information should be written in this position report? B, 1 attendance to Regional Service Committee, RSC. B2, provide written report on RSC events and pertinent business information for feedback and or group conscious. B3, provide hard copies of regional motion. B5, attend the biannual area treasury audit. B6, print copies of RSC treasury report every 2 months. What should we expect to hear in the BRCC alternate BRCC report? Which pages will you find this position and duties? Pages 13, 14, section 9B, duties of BRCC, alternate BRCC. What key information should be written in this position report? 9B, 1, attendance to BRCC. 9B, 3, report to ASC all pertinent activities of the BRCC. 9B, 5, read and submit a written report, business on the BRCC floor, financial report on the ABCNA annual convention, name of area hosting the upcoming convention with total budget amounts, expenses to date and profit and loss information after January convention, name of area award next year's convention with total budget amount. 9B8, attend the biannual area treasury audit.
What should we expect to hear in the special events subcommittee treasury report? Which pages will you find this position duties? Pages 14 and 15, section 11B, duties of special events subcommittee treasurer. What key information should be written in this position's report? 11B-1, budget for the plane event with all costs. Plane event, I'm sorry. 11B2, request for seed money. 11B3, financial report after each event at next area service. 11B-7, financial report should include A, the total amount of profit or loss. B, the total amount of donation to ASC. C, the total amount donated to the free event. Excuse me. D, the total amount to date for this year's free event. E, the total amount to date raised for the next year free event. RASCNA subcommittees. Next, we will discuss the reporting duties and responsibilities of the subcommittee chairs. Hospitality and institutions, H&I, literature, outreach, policy, print shop, public relations, RACC, Richmond Area Convention Corporation, special events. What should we expect to hear in the subcommittee chairs reports? Which pages will you find this position's duties? Pages 15, duties of subcommittee chairpersons. What key information should be written in this position's report? 12B-1, subcommittee schedule for the month. 12B-2, all activities for the month. 12B-3, okay. 12B-4, any motion submitted by subcommittee. 12B-5, follow and study handbook. 12B-6, attendance to any workshops and or learning days by other subcommittees. 12B-7, attendance to biannual area treasurer's audit. What should we expect to hear in the hospital and institutions? Which pages will you find this position's duties? Page 16, duties of H&I subcommittee. What key information should be written in this position? G1, B1, changes to H&I policies and guidelines. G1, B2, activities to share with RCM Regional. G1, B3, selects facilitators for H&I meetings. G1, B4, distribution of literature at meetings. G1, B5, all initial contact and facilities along with public relations, PR. F1-2, all expenses. Okay, what should we report? What should we expect to hear in the literature chair report? Which pages will you find this position duties? Pages 20, duties of literature subcommittee. What key information should be written in this position's report? 2-C-1, value of literature order last month. 2C-2A, accuracy of shipment received from World. 2C-2B, process group orders. 2C-2C, distribute group orders and back orders. Number 4, responsible for issuance management monitoring. collection and storage of all items purchased by RASC NA.
What should we expect to hear in the outreach chair report? Which pages will you find this position's duties? Page 21, duties of outreach subcommittee. What key information should be written in this position's report? 3-C1, distribution of any starter kits. 3C2, requested visits to groups. 3C3, required visits to groups who have missed 3 area service consecutive meetings. 3C4, provide monthly written report. 3C5, new GSRs, alternate GSRs orientation. 3D, 1 and 2, all expenses. What should we expect to hear in the policy chair report? Which pages will you find this position duties? Page 22, duties of policy subcommittee. What key information should be written in this position's report? 4C1, review motions submitted to policy for review. 4C3, updates RASCNA guideline and procedures documented annually. 4C4, provide monthly addendum to changes to motions after July distribution. 4C5, post PDF copy of addendum on website and place on literature table. 4C8, provide time and place a required workshop. 4D1, report all expenses. What should we expect to hear in the print chair report? Which pages will you find this position duties? Page 22, duties of print subcommittee. What key information should be written in this position's report? 5C1, print all approved area documents. 5C1B, print other approved NA documents from groups and members. 5C1B, set up and stock literature table before area service. 5D1, state all expenses. What should we expect to hear in the public relations chair report? Which pages will you find this duties positions? Page 24, duties of public relations subcommittee. What key information should be written in this position report? Six C1, status of shared phone line and website. 6C2, update phone line information with region and world. 6C3, capture new meetings and changes to meetings. 6C4 and 5, recruit and train volunteers for phone line. 6C10, develop materials to present to people in helping professions. 6C16, publish unified meeting schedule in odd months. 6C17, update website with approved ASC and subcommittee documents and forms to include all events. 6D, 1 through 5, all expenses. What should we expect to hear in the RACC chair report? What pages will you find this position duties? Pages 24, 25, duties of RACC. What key information should be written in this position's report? 7C1, provide a written report of their plans and to include treasurer's report. 7C2, coordinate the internal audit after close of convention. 7C3, responsible for retrieval of RACC funds when theft of funds. 7D1, provide all convention matters concerning its prudent reserve. 7D2, report surplus funds over prudent reserve for the 60-40 convention area split. What should we expect to hear in the special event chair report? Which pages will you find disposition duties? Page 26, duties of special event subcommittee. What key information should be written in this position's report? Seven C, 1 and 2, written plans for each event 2 months in advance. 7C, 1 and 3, specific details of the written plans A through I. 7C4, negotiate all contracts and agreements with facilities and vendors. 7C5, request monies from special event treasurer to cover all expenses. 7C6, obtain a RSC NA storage unit. 7C4, plan for one free event per year. 7D, 1 through 9, seed money of $1,100 and all expenses.
Additional guidelines. Where would you find information on these guidelines? For example, 1, forming, dissolving standing subcommittees. On page 28, section 2A, 2/3 closed ballot vote is needed to establish a standing committee whose need has been presented in a written letter. B, dissolving the committee is done by a 2/3 majority vote at area. Donation to Regional Service Committee is found on page 29, section H. The regional donation is 50% of available funds balance, not to exceed $500. Amendment of guidelines. On page 29, section I, all motions to change guidelines require a simple majority vote and must be sent back to home groups. Where would you find information on procedures? The agenda for area in person is on page 29. Motions. On page 31, section B, page 33, the types of motions are explained in section B1, page 29. How to vote on these motions is found on section B-2. How the votes are counted and types of votes, you will find that on section B-3. And who can vote, make a motion, or second a motion, you will find that in section B-4. Where would you find information on procedures? On motions, page 31, section B, how voting is conducted. Section B5, nominations, acceptance of nominations, and elections of nominee, the voting procedures is found in section C. Nominations, acceptance of nomination procedures at area service is found section C-2. And elections of nominees, the voting procedures, closed ballot voting or election by acclamation is found in section C-3. The calendar of nominations and elections and events is found on page 35, section D. Where would you find information on additional procedures? To amend a procedure is found on page 37, section E. To establish an ad hoc committee, that is found on page 37, section F. Instructions for the GSRs and alternate GSRs for the ASC service can be found on page 37, section G. The operating expenses for 1 month is found on page 40 through 41, section H. Rasna property, where it's kept and issued, is found on page 41, section I. The procedures for the Joint Administration Committee, the conference call, is on page 42, section K.
Procedures. Where will you find information on instructions for GSRs and alternate GSRs for ASC service? Pages 37 and 38, section G. 1, before area meeting, organize and have area documents ready for review. A, guidelines and procedures. B, previous month minutes. C, money order or cash app, 7 tradition funds. D, completed group report. 2, during the area meeting, A, follow the agenda. B, take notes, ask questions, and vote your group's conscience. C, read group reports. Do not report financial information. 3, after the area service meeting, A, pick up literature order. What should we expect to hear in the GSR, alternate GSR reports? Which pages will we find dispositions duties? Duties of the GSR, alternate GSR are found on page 37. What key information should be written in this report, in this positions report? Names of all home group trusted servants, 7 tradition funds, prudent reserves, income, expenses, literature requests, and area donations included on the written report, even though it's not read on the area floor. Group reports. Groups conscience on any guidelines, reasonable motions, or other requested motions. Nominations for area trusted servants. Changes in meeting times, format, and/or location. Group concerns. Announcements. Home group members' anniversaries. Home group members' celebration. Home groups events.
Appendixes. Appendix A, financial policy, pages 44 through 51 in your guidelines and procedures. You will find the retrieval of NA funds. You will also find B, Bulletin 30, theft of NA funds on pages 47, section 2, as produced by the World Service Organization. 2, Appendix B, forms on pages 51. These are the forms that the print shop subcommittee will have on the table that was a part of their duties covered earlier. All are located on the Richmond page of the website, www.rbana.org. The meeting verification form, the group report form, subcommittee forms, motion forms, guideline motion forms, and literature order forms. App appendixes. App Appendix C contains the short version of Robert's Rules of Order on pages 52 to 57. The 7 most used motions at area service are motions to table on page 52. 7 most used motions are point of information, order of the day, point of order, previous question, table, parliamentary inquiry, and motion to amend. App Appendix C, short version of Robert's Rules of Order. Pages 52 to 57. Motion to table, page 52. Below are the 7 most used motions at area service. Point of information, order of the day, point of order, previous question, table, parliamentary inquiry, and motion to amend. The decorum statement set the stage for area service. Meeting will be conducted according to these rules of order, adapted from Robert's Rules of Order. This time-honored system for conducting business is the clearest way yet devised for conducting a maximum amount of business done in a minimum amount of time, regardless of the degree of disagreement among participants. These rules are meant to be used as tools to help us make orderly, collective decisions in a cooperative, respectful way in the spirit of our 12 concepts. Please do not use them as weapons against one another. We encourage all participants to become familiar with these rules of order and conduct themselves accordingly. Once the meeting is underway, only one matter will be before the committee at one time and no other discussion is in order. Please respect the chairperson's right to be in control of the process of this meeting so that you can have maximum benefit of its content. Okay, this is the requirements for a point of information motion. The motion is point of information. The purpose of the motion is to allow to be allowed to ask a question about the motion being discussed, not to offer information, but to ask a question. Please note the 4 boxes to the far right. Interrupt, yes. What does that mean? That means that if I identify that an individual is out of order, I can interrupt them while they are talking. Does that mean I'm being disrespectful? No, it's a method of saving time. Does it need a second? No. Is it debatable? No. Does it require a vote? No. What is it used for? If a committee member needs more information before making a decision about the motion at hand, that member can say at any time to the chairperson, point of information. This means I have a question about the motion. The person raising the point of information may ask the question of either the chairperson or another member of the body. Order of the day. Here again, the purpose to make the committee return to its agenda if it's get onto another track or subject. Can I interrupt the person who has brought up a question that is out of order? Yes. Is that disrespectful? No. It's a method of saving time. Does it need a second? No. Is it debatable? No. Does it require a vote? No. Usage? If a committee member feels that the business has gone too far astray from the original agenda, that member can help get things back on track. The member says, I call for order of the day. This means I move that the chair bring us back on track and conduct the meeting according to procedures, adhering to the agenda. Point of order motion. The purpose of a point of order motion is to request clarifications of rules of order when it appears they are being broken. Can I interrupt a person while they are asking a question or making a statement? Yes. Is it impolite or rude? No. The purpose for the interruption is to save time on the area flow. Does it need a second? No. Is it debatable? No. Does it need a vote? No. Is usage? If a committee member feels that the business is going too far astray from the original agenda, the member can help get things back on track. This is a very important tool used by the GSRs. The members say, I call for order of the day. This means I move that the chair bring us back on track and conduct the meeting according to procedures, adhering to the agenda. These are very important tools utilized by the GSRs and area service to manage business and conduct business on the area flow in the shortest amount of time. Call for the previous question motion. I call for the previous question or previous question. The purpose and usage, purpose, to stop debate and vote right now on whatever motion is at hand. Can I interrupt the person speaking? No. Must I be recognized by the chair? Yes. Does it need a second? Yes. Is it debatable? No. Does it require a vote? Yes, it requires a 2/3 vote to vote on the motion, What this means, this motion is made by a member saying, I call for the question. Vote, meaning let's vote right now. Stop debate, and a vote is taken immediately on the motion. This is one of many motions that can be used to prevent needless, lengthy debate once an issue is clearly understood. Here again, a very important tool utilized by the GSR to manage time and conduct business on the area flow. Motion to table. Purpose, to put off further consideration of a motion until a later date and time. Can I interrupt the person speaking? No. In order for me to speak, I must be recognized by the chair. I must be called upon. Does it need a second? Yes. Is it debatable? No. Does it require a vote? Yes, a simple majority. 50% plus 1 is a majority, simple majority. The usage. One way of disposing of a motion that is not ready for a vote is to table it. This is done by saying, I move we table this motion until such and such a date/meeting. This motion is not debatable. If it is made and seconded, it is voted on immediately. If it fails, debate continues on the motion itself. If it passes, the committee moves on to the next item of business. The table motion will be included in the committee agenda on the next date specified. Point of parliamentarian inquiry motions. Purpose, to ask the chair about how to do something according to the rules of order. Can I interrupt someone while they're speaking? Yes. The purpose for the interruption is to save time on the area flow. Time is very valuable. Does it need a second? No. Is it debatable? Yes. Does it require a vote? No. What is it used for and how is it used? If a committee member wants to do something but doesn't know how it fits in with the rules of order, all that member has to do is ask. At any time, a member may simply say out loud, point of parliamentary inquiry. The chairperson must immediately, the chairperson must immediately recognize the member so that person may ask how to do such and such. The chair must answer the question properly by referring to a specific passage in the document in explanation. Motion to amend. This is a motion to amend a motion that someone else has submitted. Purpose: to change part of the language in a main motion. Can I interrupt the person speaking? No. I must be recognized by the chair before I can speak. Does it need a second? Yes. Is it debatable? Yes. The vote in order to pass it requires a simple majority. Usage. During debate on the motion, if a member feels that the motion would benefit from a change in its language, that member can say, I move to amend the motion, and suggest specific language changes in the motion. Then debate resumes on the merits of the amended motion. If an amendment is offered and the person making and seconding the original motion accepted, no second is required, no debate is called for, and no vote need be taken on the amendment. Debate proceeds as if the main motion had been formally amended. This is called making a friendly amendment.